That's good. We got some his biscuits today. It's hibiscus, but I like to say his biscuits. It's just more fun. I don't know about you, but for me, it is time for a detox, mentally, spiritually, and physically. And I actually just finished my physical detox. So I did 3-day juicing, 3-day raw, and now I'm back to my plant-based diet for a little bit. Sometimes I like to throw in other things here and there, but for the most part, I eat a lot of whole foods, limit a lot of meats, and I reset my body in that way. And throughout these past 6 days, I think I started to realize how much of cravings I get for things when it comes to food. And that reminds me, in the spiritual sense, a lot of the times we crave things and we don't realize how we are addicted to something. And when something it has us in a bind like that, we are a slave to it. It is a ruler over us. If we cannot sustain ourselves or live and go on without a certain thing, then that thing has control over us. So when we do a detox, whether it be a spiritual, physical, or mental detox, it allows you to see the things that have control over you. And a lot of times when we do these detoxes from, what we're eating, we realize that a lot of the food has had power over us, whether it be the sugars, the starches, the processed meats, the fast foods, the anything that's usually and typically not healthy for us. Because a lot of the time what we don't realize is that emotions are connected to the things that we eat. Think about the time when you grew up, right? And that special treat your mom, your dad, your grandma, whoever gave to you. There was an emotional attachment with that food. And that carries us on into our adulthoods. And you have to think of that in the same way when it comes to your spiritual aspects. That's why we also need a detox and a fast from a lot of things spiritually. That's why you need to give yourself a break from social media sometimes. You need to give yourself a break from things that don't align with your highest self. You have to be very cognizant about the things that you're watching. You have to be very cognizant about the things that you're consuming and listening to on a daily basis. So that's why doing a detox, spiritually, mentally, and physically, is good for you. Because it allows you to see the things that may have control over you. I see a detox as like a reset. See it as the restart button of, okay, where in my life do I need to improve on the things that may have had control over me lately? That's good. We got some his biscuits today. It's hibiscus, but I like to say his biscuits. It's just more fun. You can have a sip too. No worries. But, I love hibiscus because great for your blood pressure, great for your blood sugar. Amazing. I'm drinking it cold because it's a little hot out lately. So, when you detox from things, you start to realize what has had control over you. And like I said, this happens when some people go celibate and they start to realize maybe their, hormones had control and power over them. When people stop drinking, they realize how much the alcohol had power and control over them. To maybe they were using it as a form of, to take their mind off of things, as a distraction, as I'm trying to say. And a lot of things in our lives, in the physical sense especially, are distractions. And when we take those distractions away and we allow ourselves to detox and to fast from them, all fasting means sustaining from it. So when you're fasting and you're detoxing, you're sustaining and you're cleansing and you're clearing out the energy physically, mentally, and spiritually. It allows you to see things more clearly. And literally, when you do fast from certain foods and you fast and you do a juice cleanse or whatever it may be, you really start to gain a clear mind, right? Because your body's not really focused on that energy of breaking down food and making it into vital nutrients that your body can use as energy and so absorb to maintain your entire ecosystem that is you, right? It now is focusing on the energy up here, the energy in the brain, the energy of what the mind really wants to see and what the spirit really needs to see. So when you fast, it also allows you to have this clear state of mind because your body's not focused on this other energy that it usually is expending daily by breaking down foods that we consume. So I just have this feeling that for a lot of us, it's really time for us to detox and cleanse ourselves and fast from a lot of things because I don't know about you, I don't want to let things always have control over me. Because when we let things have control over us, that means we have no control over ourselves. We shouldn't need anything to feel sustained. It should be a nice addition to our lives, but it shouldn't be something that we crave and need every day. And like I said, when you do a juice fast, you will very particularly be very humbled in yourself. That's why it's hard sometimes to do these things because a lot of us don't feel like we actually can do it. You know how many people I would tell like, hey, I'm doing a juice cleanse, and they'd be like, I don't know how you do that. Well, the thing is, like, you have to put mind over body. You have to be able to have self-control. You have to be able to have the strength to do it, you know? You have to understand that I will not allow these outside sources to have power over me. And so when you do these detoxes and cleanses of your mind, body, and spirit, you will allow yourself to also detox from those things. And like I said, my spirit is probably going to be next and my mind is going to be next because I did the cleanse of my body. And I started to realize I get little cravings, and I realized I had cravings for like sweet things and like that. And that tells a lot too. Certain cravings say certain things about you too. Sometimes when you crave sweet things, you're craving more love, intimacy, creativity, warmness in your life. There's things like crunchiness, spiciness as well. But it's just time for a detox, y'all. And this is the season to do so. This is the season for each and every one of us to start realizing what things in our lives have had the power over us. No longer allow things in your life to have power over you. It's no problem to indulge in things that you enjoy. Don't get me wrong, it's amazing to indulge in the things that you enjoy, but differentiate between it having power over you and you having power over it. Because there is a huge difference when it comes to that. It's a huge difference. And when you start to fast and you start to detox yourself from these things, you realize like, wow, that thing really did have power over me. And I'm talking even people. I'm talking even people can have a negative, I don't like to say negative, but yeah, that negative effect in your life, and you don't realize that people have had control over you. And when you detox yourself from certain people, certain environments, then you start to realize like, wow, maybe that wasn't the version of me and how I wanted to show up in my life. I want to show up as this version of me. And when you take yourself detox, fast, out of those environments, you start to realize who you really are. That's where authenticity comes to play. You cannot be authentic with yourself until you know who you truly are. And how can you know who you truly are? By giving yourself the space to understand who you are and giving yourself the space to be in that energy. But you can't be in that energy if you're around things that aren't letting you see who you truly are. So that's why you need a fast from those things that may be distracting you from your higher self, your true self, your authentic self. You know, it takes time. It takes patience. Sometimes I know, like, we have, I do feel like we do have choices though, but sometimes it takes a little bit longer because there's certain things sometimes we have to go through in order to get there. But yeah, I just feel like it's time for a detox and it's time for a cleanse away from all these things that no longer align with you and no longer align with me. And I'm starting to really realize that when I do these little cleanses and fast, I really start to learn more and more about myself. And my next part is going to be my tapping into my spiritual and do a detox in my spiritual, do some looking and seeing like what things maybe have control over me. And don't forget the mind, body, and the mind, body, and spirit all are connected anyway. So sometimes one is impacting the other. Like if your health is bad, then sometimes that is affecting the spiritual. But it's all connected anyway. So all we can do is continue to be the best version of ourselves and to be authentic to who we truly are. But in order to see that authenticity, we have to know what it looks like in the first place. And in order to know how it looks like in the first place, we have to be able to clear out our systems in all ways in order to see what's behind everything that's been clouding the thing that we're trying to see, and that's ourselves. It's like you can't fully see the depiction of yourself in the mirror if it's all smudged, if it's broken, if it's cracked. You can see a distorted version of you, but you don't know what you truly look like until you get a new mirror, until you renew that mirror, and until you clean off that mirror. So go forward and start your detox and start your fast from your mind, body, and spirit of the things that aren't allowing you to be in the most healthy state. Ashe, amen. I'll see you guys next time.